Welcome back to It's Not Junk TV. My name is Jarvis and I am super excited about today's video. We have got the 1890 Schall and Company big wheel slot machine going back together. I've got all the parts repaired, fixed, made from scratch. All this cases back together. So I think we're just going to jump right into it. I'm kind of excited to see this go back together and move on to something else. Is that awful? It's not. It's been a super fun project so far. Hopefully everything goes back together the way I planned. I don't know if that'll happen, but it may. So I say we just get started, and I still got to print out a couple little displays. I still got to do that yet before we get to that part, but I can go ahead and start getting the biggest part of it assembled. So let's get started. All right, well, I think the first thing I should probably start with is get this big old thick piece of glass back in the cabinet, because once that goes in, then I can kind of build off of it and give it a quick clean here, just to make sure I've got everything off. All the fingerprints, as many as I can, because I'm going to get more back on it as I'm putting it back in here, of course. But I'll try to get rid of some of these years of dirt. But look how thick that stuff is. It is broken. One corner of it is broken. But fortunately, I didn't see anything. You can't see it when you slide it back in the case. I've kind of already test fitted it just to see if it could be used. And fortunately it can, because this big thick stuff, you're not going to run down to your local hardware store and get it. You might get some double strength safety glass. What do we got on there? Paint. Something on there. Alright, well, this is going to be fun for y'all to watch me clean glass, but there's something on there. It was. Alright. And now this side I've got filthy again because the table was dirty. Perfect. Must be two little chiggers on there. That's alright. Alright. So, well, where did all this stuff come from? It's so strange. Alright, there's that. I didn't notice none of this before. I think this is on the other side. Let's see. Yeah. Whatever that glue or whatever it was. Alright. And if you're going to handle glass, you have to learn to handle it in a certain way, or you will cut yourself. Alright, let me finger it all up. See about getting this slid in here. Of course, I'll have to wipe everything down again. Let's see, make sure we got the groove. Get that all the way over, because there's a certain place for it. Like that right there. Alright. What you guys can see. You see just my big face staring at that thing? Nobody wants that. Alright, so I think this may be a sacrilege to some of y'all out there, but I think the easiest solution to keep this from rattling. Now I'm having second thoughts about it. So this little sham there. All right, let me find something here. I wasn't quite ready for this little See? All right, there's always something you run into. All right, I think I've come up with a solution. Just took my knife there. Let me get this up where we can see it. Just created a little wedge that I'll slide in behind the glass here. Make sure you guys can see kind of what I'm doing. I'll just slide that into that track, and then, because it's a wedge shape, it'll just wedge itself in there until it gets tighter. Now I've got the glass. I don't want it to rattle. So, some out there may find this to be a sacrilege, and I'm going to take, and just on the wedge, I'm just going to put just a little dab, just to hold that wedge in place. I don't want to get carried away with it, and I don't want to leave these stupid strings everywhere. But I do just want a little dab just on the wedge. Now I'll take 20 minutes and get all these stupid strings and threads off of it. But there we go. Probably the first time I had glass in it in 50 years, if I had to guess. It's been a minute. All right. Well, let me see here. Let's see. Well, my next step. Well, I guess while we're working on the case, let's go ahead and get this outer ring put back in it. That wasn't beat up too bad, thankfully. Had some weird holes in it. And for some reason, they had put the little arrow that points out, the pointer that points out that if you're a winner or not, somehow had been put on the outside. I don't know if it had broke off at some point and somebody just did a makeshift repair. There we go. Look at that. One to kind of, you know, when you punch through a nail through some tin, it leaves a little tag on the back side of it. And I just want to make sure that them sit back down in their little places where they belong. Right there. So what I went with was like a brushed bronze as a paint. There's black underneath. I did like, I don't remember what it was called. It had some kind of weird name. But it had it's got black underneath. I was hoping I could just push him back in there pretty easy. So when I go to do the final polish, I might as well speak while I'm standing here. While I'm doing the final polish is what I'll do is kind of rub through in a few places and let some of that black shine through, and it'll look a little older. Like I say, when I set out to redo this stuff, I don't normally go trying to get the brand new look. That's not normally what I'm going for. That seems kind of pointless to me, but this old stuff, I don't want to mess with too much of its history. So I was hoping I'd really be able to start doing with my hands. But in the cleaning and sanding process, I must have changed that hole shape. There we go. I mean, these are the nails that come out of it, so they should, in theory, go right back in it, right? I need to find my little hammer. Just a little one. Let's see. Alright, well, we're on the great tool hunt. Hold on just a second. Alright, now I've come back with the tools that I need. Now I take this little ball peen, and because I painted these heads of these nails, I've wrapped this in electrical tape. Just trying to, look, there's them like glue. Just trying to minimize the marring, and it seems to be working. So it's just a matter of getting these worked in, make sure it ring's pushed in where it needs to be. It'll probably be easier to go around on this side. Really just want to make sure it's pressed against the case good. Try not to hit the glass, because, well, all that I've tried to save would be for naught. I'll go ahead and take this off of here for now. That don't need to be on there now, because let's see. Just felt movement in my glass and I didn't know it was there. Alright. Nope, it's going to need another little spot of super glue, or glue, I would imagine. Alright, where's my hole? Where's my hole? And if I can't get it started with my fingers, just take your needle nose leather thing and give it a little. It don't like that hole. Why does it not like that hole? Alright, how about the top one? It likes the top one. Went right in that one. Alright, what do we got going on here? Oh, it's that one. Weird. Alright. Now, I gotta address the fact that I still got some wiggles up there. Let's see. I said I want no wiggles in this glass. Let's see if I got me another little wedge. Let me make me another little wedge for the top here. Alright. Front trim ring's in. The glass is in and secure. I guess the next thing we'll do is throw the lock in the door. Even though I don't have a key for it yet, I'll have to take it back out and rekey it. But I'll just leave it unlocked for now. It should be fine. I didn't bother to paint these screws because they're inside and they wouldn't have been finished. There's this misconception that everything was done better back in the day. I can assure you it was not. Yes, was it hand done? Yes. Yes, most things were handmade, hand machined, hand turned, hand. But did they just care about things better back then? No, that's just, humans have always been humans, so there's some days you feel like doing stuff and there's some days you don't. So, you know, it's like the old, you don't ever buy a Ford that was built on Friday or before a holiday or something like that. I don't remember the whole thing, but that was a saying for a long time, is you don't buy a Ford or any car that was built right before the start of a holiday. All right, so I'll go ahead, and this little trim piece that goes over the pull arms, it can be put back on. I'm pretty sure it was all. So yeah, this, you hear this thing, well, they just made things better. Well, I wouldn't say made better to that aspect. Did they use heavier metals and stuff like that? Yes. Was that mainly because our alloys hadn't come to where they are now? Partly. So just putting it all on, well, they just did things better. No. They, humans have always been humans. And they've always tried to get away with doing the least amount that they could do. I mean, it's just the nature of what we are. So, thinking that you're going to take something that was made in the turn of the century, 1800, late 1800s, anything from the Industrial Revolution, and make it perfect, it didn't exist. It didn't exist then. It doesn't exist now. It really doesn't exist now. Now that there's no real hands involved with anything, it's hard to go back and yell at EL145 robot. Well, there's a touch-up, or a place where I'll have to make it look. We got the locks, we got the trim. Now this can just slide back up in here for now. Put that there. We got that trim piece on. Let's go ahead and take a look at. Let me move you here a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at this lock mechanism. See what, because I've really yet to do much with it. I do got all the holes. I did not want paint to get down in here where the nickel falls. So that's left unpainted. And then this right here, I left the inside of this unpainted. I did. This glass was broke. So this one I made out of some a broken window I had back here. A broken storm window or something that somebody put single pane in. So I'll put this. For some reason I feel there's one short and one long. For some reason I feel like that short one goes back up in the front. Maybe not. We'll see. Threads will tell you where it wants. Alright. There's that. Got some more tape I jammed down in there. Alright, that all seems to be moving. There's some more tape in here. Get that out. Alright. And that just sort of sits there. Nice. Keep that right there. Oh. And we'll get you moved back up here. Get this nonsense out the way. Bring this over. And it's gonna sit somewhere like right there, it looks like. But my glass is not wanting to stay in there. It's not big enough. This would have had thicker glass in it, and this cover would have wedged it. So, what are we gonna do? What do y'all think? I don't have no big old thick glass sitting around here. Let's see. I was kind of hoping when it sat down on the end there. Do we do it? Alright. Well, I think my only solution maybe is to just put a little dab of hot glue right along the bottom there. Just tack it up in there, push it up, and let it just kind of hold up on that thing. Because there's no way I can get glass that thick. Hell, even these little marquee pieces are much thicker than. That may be standard. I don't know. Let's see. If I had these from here, yeah, these will hold that on. All right. Let me get this glued up, and when we come back, we'll put this thing on. All right. Got our coin mech all put on here. Got it all functioning as it should. Takes an awful lot of nickels to fill this thing up. And that just drops it inside, which is what we want for now. Got that part working. So next, I guess I got my little signs printed out yesterday. So as you probably figured out, this is the next day. So next we're gonna get these little marquees on the top, and then we're gonna put the bottom one on. And I feel like I might need a little bit of Scotch tape. Hold on, let me see if I can track down some Scotch tape. All right, well that was easier than I expected. It didn't take a trip to the store anyway. So I'll put just a little bit. Nothing that's gonna stick out and be seen, of course. But it's just here to kind of keep things kind of in place until you get it put up on there. So that's what you're gonna look like. I tried to mimic the original typewriter as best I could. Excuse me. Try to keep it looking authentic. Now I don't like the color of these papers. I know they're bright white, and that just kind of isn't going with the whole aesthetic I'm going with here. But I've been doing some testing on aging paper, you know, trying to make it look a little like it's set through some time. And I don't like none of them. They just kind of look dirty. And I just got all the dirt off this thing, so I don't want to make it look dirty again. So it'll probably just get these bright white ones for now, and then I may have them printed out on just some different paper. Something that's already got a yellow hue to it, maybe. Parchment or something like that. All right. That should hold them there until we can get them reattached anyway, huh? Should be just as simple as putting them on there. Alright, now anytime you're doing something like this, you want to start one and start the other, because I can assure you these holes probably wasn't drilled perfect. They were thrown in. You ever seen a speed screwdriver? They wouldn't have pre-drilled. They would have stuck their screw in it and started hammering that thing down. Look up a vintage speed screwdriver. It's weird. They work. They're quick, but they kind of just force everything too. So that's why when you start pulling a lot of this old stuff apart, you'll find stuff split and cracked. Well, it's because they didn't pre-drill and they just kind of forced everything through. It's about speed. A lot of people got paid by piecemeal. You know, how many pieces you got done today in a day. You want to see a little example of that? Go on YouTube and look up any of the Middle Eastern factory guys where they're making stuff out on the street, or they're sitting on a curb somewhere and they're hammering out piece after piece. They're getting paid piecemeal. All right, well, there's the two marquees, the top marquees. I touched up my other one, so I got to go grab it here. Let me get it, and then we'll get the big one, and we're getting down on the home stretch here, guys. It's getting close. A little bit more, and we're ready to slide this mechanism in here and then do the glamour shots. So let me find this top marquee, make sure it's good and dry, and we'll get it on, and it's time to slide this mechanism home. All right, my main marquee is dry. I've already went ahead and put that behind it. Our heroes, that's the name of the game. That's who the characters are. They're, I believe, Spanish-American War generals. This thing's kind of tight. There we go. Look at that. Look how that looks. Ew. I like it. Make sure we're lined up here. Now, if you guys remember, and if you've not watched my earlier videos, and if you haven't, why not? I made this piece from scratch. This didn't exist. I made a clay model of it from just the shadow. Did all that by hand, by eye. Just, and I'm not going to explain much more because you guys can go and watch it because you don't want to miss it. It's pretty cool. You might learn something. Uh-oh. Where's Mother? Oh. I'm getting kind of excited about seeing this thing done. This has been a long project. Uh-oh. This long project, hey, it just got longer. And, we'll give her a pre-drill here. Let's see. Use that one right there. I got pretty close. But I don't want to cock this thing in there sideways. So we'll just, I also don't want to hit that glass under the back here too, because that's right behind there. That's it. I might have to go up just a hair bigger on that hole. I don't want nothing to split. The stuff's still kind of dry. I know I've moisturized it and done all that stuff. Alright, perfect. Pull it back against there. Get that back against there. Oh wow, look at that, guys. Holy crap. That's pretty awesome right there. And then our little catch cup. Now I thought I might have to do a little trimming on this because everything isn't quite exactly as it was. So we'll come back to that. I'm pretty excited about getting this. I can't even think right now. Getting the mechanism stuck back in here. Let's see. Ooh, drank my coffee too fast this morning. Got me a little bit of indigestion, which is normal for me. I don't normally get it. Not from that. But I'm new to the whole coffee drinking thing. I've just recently started drinking coffee. Push that back here just a little bit more. All right, so I think our next step is our little pointer needle goes inside there. I gotta determine where. I want it right in the center. Have a few bends in it. I wasn't right sure. It's gonna go somewhere right in there. But I'm gonna have to lay it on its side, I think. Drop that and ruin the paint job on that real quick. Alright. Let's see. I might be able to get it. I don't know how much you guys can see. I might be able to get it from right here. Let's see. I think if we it's somewhere like right in there. Yeah, that's close to the center. And then we come in here. Oh, well, that's not good. Let's see. We want it somewhere right there. All right. This is going to take some manipulation here, I think. So let me mess with this a minute. It's going to be a lot of me trying to figure this out on my own here. Let's see. Maybe. It's going to go somewhere like that right there. All right. It's going to require me do some things. I don't like where that's at. What's weird is there was never an original place for this. They had it sat on the outside, and I didn't feel like that was correct at all. And I assume it had broke off at one point, and somebody was making a repair, and I think that's where it's going to be. Maybe more like that right there. Yeah. All right. Well, let me get this attached, and then we'll. All right. I think we've made it to the point here. I've got everything on the case. Pointers in. I've been through the mechanism. I've sort of decided against changing anything here. I was going to make a new faceplate, but no, that's not going to go with the aesthetic that I'm going with. So I think we're going to leave it just the way it is. Like I say, the movement works. The mechanism works. I've been through it, cleaned all the pivot points, went through and greased and oiled everything that needed greased and oiled. And I'm kind of stalling here, but I guess it's time to see if it's due to slide home, and we'll get it all in place and get the coin bucket in it. And it's been a fun project. It really has. It's the first one of these I've ever messed with. And here I'm talking like I've already got it done and we're finished. I laid this little piece of foam here. Oh, is it going to fit? Oh, come on. Hang on. Look at that. Uh-oh. What are we hitting? We're hitting over there. What are we hitting? Let's see. I need some light. Not hitting there. What are we hitting, y'all? I don't see nothing we're hitting on. See if I can get my phone back out of there now. I think there's like a track up top, because we're not touching there. Shift this. What are we hitting? We're hitting something. I think it's this track up top. I think it's probably swollen through the years. I think that's what we got going on. I think it's just a matter of probably finagling it right. Not holding my mouth right, like they used to say. Alright, let's pull this back out. There's a little notch at the top of this rides into. And I feel like Maybe it shifted a little bit. Let's see. Let's see, Bobby, what we can do here. Yeah, that's what it is. It's just shifted over time. Let's see if that makes it any better. If I lay that there so we don't scratch our edge. And we'll just drag it across the top there and scratch the crap out of it. You know, hey. Let's see. That's gotta be somewhere right there. See if we can. There we go. That's further. Let's see. We're not hitting nothing. Nothing's touching there. That's kind of touching. Is that what we were touching before? Probably. I don't feel like that's super tight. Let's see. See if we can get back in here and hold of this. There we go. That's it. It just needed, I wasn't holding my mouth right. Oh, we're in, guys. Oh, we're in. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Hold on. Hold on. Bear with me. Sorry for all the rumbles of the camera. Oh, look at that. That's too cool. That's too cool, guys. Oh, we're in. We're in. Now my tripod's falling. I got overly excited. Sorry. Trying not to send you on too wild of a ride. Oh, we're in. We're in. Yep. I think we're lined up where we need to be. We might actually. No, let's leave it right there. Alright, let's stick our door on there. Oh, guys, this has been, I have done things with this that I have never done. Did some metal casting. Wow. That's too cool. That is too cool. I'm super excited about this being done. Oh, you know what I forgot? In my excitement, I forgot. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Let's see. Oh no. Oh no. Let's see if I can find something here. I just need to be able to pick up this lock a little bit. There we go. Catastrophe averted. There we go. What I forgot is I was fortunate somehow. Lost some really important parts, but we had the original coin box, which I thought was super cool. I'm nerdy like that though. Sits right there. That's where she goes. Right on the edge here. I'll bring you around. Sits all in there nice and compact. Let's see. Get you a view of it there. All in and done. Oh, I scraped my paint a little bit. It's alright, I'll touch it up. Alright. Well, guys, I'm going to sound like one of these other people in here with the guys. But this one's been fun. if you've stuck around through all of these different parts of this, and this has been going on weeks, I do appreciate it. If you haven't hit like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever format you're watching this on, because it's going to be out on all of them. If you've not watched it, if you've not done any of that yet, please do. It helped me out a lot. I like doing these projects for you. I like taking the time to film them, which adds considerable amount of time to my projects. But I think now I'm gonna get this all cleaned up. We're gonna do a sort of a glamour shot, I guess you would call it, to let you see it from all sides. And that's gonna be the end of this one. If you're curious about what the next one's gonna be, it might be somewhere over there. I don't know if you can see it or not, the glare. But that's gonna have to be for another one. But my name's Jarvis. This is It's Not Junk TV. Until the next one, guys, get out there and do your projects. Get them done. Take care, everybody.